Okay, for our first task, we're going to be doing a pinch pot. In order to make a pinch pot, you need a ball of clay that's about the size of an orange. Now, if you look at this ball of clay, you may notice that it's got a lot of wrinkles in it. The clay has not come directly from a brand new bag of clay. So what you're gonna need to do first is wedge the clay. So in order to wedge the clay, I actually prefer to stand up when I do this. And what I'm doing is I'm compressing the clay together using both of my hands, and it's going to make the clay into one solid piece. Now, this method that I'm using here, you can tell the clay is being rolled. If you can look from the side here, you can view that at the direction that the clay is moving. Okay, that's what we want. So I'm gonna do that a little bit more. And if you notice what I'm doing with my hands, I'm kind of cupping the side as well as rolling the clay up towards me and then pressing down with this part of my hand. That's really important because what tends to happen sometimes when you're wedging is students like to press their hand down like this and they don't necessarily wedge the clay together, they just expand it into a larger piece. So it's really important that you keep the clay compressed on the sides as well as on top by keeping your hands in this motion. So I'm just going to do this a little bit more. The table's a little squeaky there. We all know these tables are a little bit old. So once I've gotten the clay wedged together, what you're going to do first is make this clay into the orange shaped ball that I mentioned before. So as I'm doing this, I'm also patting it in order to get rid of any extra air bubbles that may have formed, since I am altering the form from more of a square shape into a round shape. Okay, that's pretty good. All right, that's what we do first. Now, you notice here, it does have a little bit of a lopsidedness to it. So now that I'm sitting down and I can really look at the form, I may go in and alter it just a little bit more. And there we go. Okay. The next step that you're gonna do for creating the pinch pot is you're going to go ahead and expand the clay. So essentially what we're doing right now, we have a solid ball of clay, and what our goal is gonna be is to pinch the clay into a form that actually opens it up into like a cup or a bowl shape. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take my thumb, whichever hand you use for writing, drawing, and I'm going to place my thumb in the middle of the ball of clay. And I'm gonna press down as I do that. And I wanna go pretty far. It's hard to gauge that a little bit, not knowing, you can't see inside of the ball, but you wanna go at least halfway down to start. Okay, pull your thumb out. You can see it will get a little bit under your fingernails. That's natural. Hopefully that doesn't bother you. I love it. It cleans my hands. Okay, so that's what I do first. What you're gonna do next is you're actually gonna place your thumb back inside of the hole, and then you're going to begin pinching the clay using your fingers on the outside. So what I'm doing now, I'm not only pinching on the outside, I should also explain that I'm pressing with my thumb on the inside. So it's balancing each other out, but it's also expanding the clay. You may also notice that I don't have it sitting on the table. This is really important because sometimes when it sits on the table, it immediately takes a shape that expands out wide and it doesn't build the height. So my other hand is supporting it while I'm doing this, okay? And I'm squeezing from the outside with my fingers, and I'm very carefully squeezing on the inside or pushing on the inside with my thumb. Okay. Now you can alter hands if you want. And what I'm going for is I want to get the clay at least to a 1/2 inch or even a 1/4 inch in thickness. pat it a little bit. Okay, it's still very, very thick. I'm gonna go ahead and expand it more, but I'm gonna do it in fast time. So go ahead and watch this. Okay, now some things you may notice when you're making your pinch pot. I don't know if you can see this on the camera or not, but there will be some little cracks that begin to form at the top along the top of your pinch pot. By the way, when you saw me doing this in other parts of the video, it's really to just get a flat top on the very edge of the pinch pot. So when I did that, the cracks even became a little bit more prevalent or visible, I guess. So what I'm gonna do now is not using even water, because this clay is in the plastic stage, so it's very wet. It's the wettest stage, so you really don't need any water to do this. I want you to just go ahead and smooth out anywhere you've found some cracks. Okay. Okay, I've completed my pinch pot to the best of my ability. I'm going to go ahead and double check that it's between 1/4 of an inch and 1/2 inch in thickness, and then set it off to the side. Please watch the next video, which is going to introduce you to a pinch pot challenge. Good luck!